Say that you're leaving, thin as a shadow. Don't walk away, don't walk away. There's still waters to travel. Planted a garden, filled it with flowers.
Hey guys, it's Olga here, and as promised, today I'm going to show you how to make a special St. Valentine's dessert. I asked you for some suggestions of what I should make, and a lot of you said that I should make a cake or some cupcakes, cookies, and since I can't really make all of them in one video, I decided that today I'm going to show you how to make a brown velvet sheet cake. You may ask me, Olga, well, what is brown velvet? When I think about St. Valentine's Day, the first thing that comes to mind is red velvet cupcakes and red velvet cake, and I really like the taste of those desserts. But since I'm making a healthy dessert and because of the ingredients that I will be using, it's pretty much impossible to get that red color without using artificial food dyes. And to be honest guys, I am scared of food dyes. I read a lot of articles and just looked at some studies done. They show that food dyes cause cancer and they affect your nervous system. And for me, it's just a no-no ingredient, so I try to stay away from them. But don't worry, if you really want to get the red color, I will show you one trick of how you can get it without using artificial food dyes. But think about it, food dyes don't really affect the taste of the dessert. All of they do, they change its appearance. And I know that we eat with our eyes and it's important that the food looks good because it makes us think that it tastes better, but you know what? The actual taste is still so much more important for me personally, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a brown velvet cake. And I promise you guys, it is so delicious. It is heavenly. Everyone in my family absolutely loves this cake, and I'm gonna show you how to make a healthy version of a cream cheese frosting. So think about it. You have the taste of your red velvet or brown velvet cake, and then you have the cream cheese frosting on top, and we're also gonna use some fresh berries to decorate it. It's just gonna be divine. So let's get started.
Desserts play an important role in our lives. We celebrate most of the special occasions with a cake. Unfortunately, a lot of desserts are extremely high in fat, sugar, and empty calories. So what makes my brown velvet cake a healthy dessert? In addition to not using a food dye, I made a few key substitutions to the ingredients to make this cake a guilt-free dessert. Let's take a look. Instead of all-purpose flour, I will be using spelt flour, which is much higher in protein and fiber and has less gluten in it. This will minimize consumption of empty calories. I substituted white sugar with coconut palm sugar, which is a much more healthier alternative. Coconut oil is an excellent alternative to butter or shortening. It helps with digestion, building stronger immunity system, and preventing numerous diseases. This recipe calls for 1 cup of buttermilk, and I never buy buttermilk, I just make my own. Simply combine 1 tablespoon of lemon juice with 1 cup of 2% milk and let it sit like this for 5 minutes. And there you have your homemade buttermilk, which is much better than store-bought as it has significantly less fat in it. We're going to start by preheating the oven to 175 degrees Celsius. Then we're going to take a large baking pan and spray it with baking spray. After, sift together 2½ cups of flour and 1¼ teaspoon of salt. Stir and set it aside. Next, we're going to add 2 eggs to our buttermilk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Finally, add 1½ teaspoons of vinegar. In a separate bowl, we're going to cream together 1¾ cups of coconut palm sugar and 1 cup of coconut oil until you get this fluffy texture. The next step is to alternate adding the flour mixture and the buttermilk mixture until all of our ingredients are well combined. It is now the time to reveal the secret of how to color your cake without using artificial food dyes. You will need 50 milliliters of beet juice and 1½ teaspoons of cocoa powder. You can use any juice that is naturally red, such as strawberry or pomegranate. And if you use beet juice, don't worry, your cake is not going to taste like beets, trust me. After mixing the juice with cocoa powder, add it to the batter. As you can see, the color of my batter didn't change, so you will have to use white sugar instead if you want to get the red color. This will make the recipe less healthy, of course. Now just pour the batter into the pan and make sure to get all of it. We're going to cook the cake in the oven for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, remove the pan from the oven and let the cake cool inside the pan for another 20 minutes. Next, place a large cutting board on top of the pan and invert the pan. We're going to let the cake rest like this until it's completely cool before frosting it. Meanwhile, let's prepare the frosting. First, whip 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream until it becomes stiff. In a separate larger bowl, whip 1 cup of cream cheese until smooth. I find it easier to break cream cheese into smaller pieces with a knife first. Then add 1/4 of a cup of maple syrup and 1 tablespoon of vanilla. I'm using maple syrup instead of sugar here because it's a natural sweetener. After, gently blend the whipped cream into the cream cheese mixture. The frosting is now done. When the cake is completely cool, you can finally frost it. I chose the cream cheese frosting because the cake itself is pretty sweet, so with the frosting like this, the flavors are nicely balanced. If you're wondering, it's called a sheet cake because it's a single layer cake, so when you're eating a slice, it's not 2 or 3 layers of cake, just 1. In a way, it's like portion control, so if you're watching your weight or trying to eat less sweets, I think it's an ideal cake for you. This cake turns out really delicious and moist, and I guarantee that you're going to love it. Let's cut ourselves a slice, and I'll show you a few fun ways to decorate it. First, just place 1 blackberry in the middle of the slice. You can also add a few mint leaves. Or use a raspberry instead if you want. Another way to decorate it is to cut out a few strawberry hearts and have fun with it. Mix a few different berries together. My favorite way of decorating this cake is by using a large, heart-shaped cookie cutter to cut a slice and then placing a bunch of raspberries all around it. I think it looks just adorable. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you happy St. Valentine's Day. You can use this recipe to create a special dessert for a special person in your life. It can be your other half, your friend, relative, or even yourself, doesn't matter. If you try this recipe, make sure to leave a comment for me down below. If you enjoyed watching this video, please don't forget to like it and share it with your friends. You can check out my last lunch video by clicking this little clip right now. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking the button below this video or by clicking the heart that says please subscribe. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video.